crowds may be going wild for World Cup this month. But on the slightly more refined grass of the All England Club, another global contest will keep fans enthralled the next 2 weeks. The 2014 championships at Wimbledon kick off Monday, and after the action we've seen on the tennis courts already this year, we're sure to enjoy just as much drama and excitement as anyone's got over there in Brazil. The seats were a little shaken up on the men's side, giving defending champion Andy Murray a bit of a boost. But the Scot has had kind of a slow start this season, and after a third-round loss at Queen's Club, he's flying a bit under the radar this year. Novak Djokovic, who'd taken a break after his loss in the finals at Roland Garros, will look to take advantage of that. He's got the #1 ranking in his sights again, and might be more hungry than ever to reclaim it. Second seed Rafael Nadal, on the other hand, is just hoping to win a couple matches this time around. He's fallen early on his last 2 outings here, and lost his opener in Halle just last week. Meanwhile, Roger Federer, another early loser in 2013, is fresh off his 7th title at the Jerry Weber Open. He's been a little less productive at the majors recently, but certainly he can't be counted out. On the women's side, we have no defending champion, and world #1 Serena Williams would be happy to take over the mantle again, especially after her second-round loss in Paris. After all, the 5-time titleist tends to show little mercy after defeat. And Maria Sharapova, riding high off her second crown at Roland Garros, will try to make up for her own early exit in London last year. A finalist in 2011, she could repeat the run that thrust her into the spotlight 10 years ago. But we can't ignore Simona Halep despite her preemptive retirement in Den Bosch last week. The young Romanian pulled out of Dubai too before making the Indian Wells semis, and then withdrew in Rome just ahead of her dream run at the French Open. And 2-time semifinalist Victoria Azarenka is back in Grand Slam action after injury laid her off most of the spring. She lost her first match back in Eastbourne last week, though, but if she's recovered enough, she could still do some damage. So could the players who've tasted their biggest victories here in the past. Tradition is paramount at the All England Club after all, and despite some varying results during warm-up events, any of these guys could take the opportunity to jump back in the spotlight. But the handful of grass court events held over the last couple weeks highlight a few fresh faces who've also emerged as potential foils to the favorites. Former world #1 Ana Ivanovic has already notched wins over Serena and Maria this year, and comes to Wimbledon fresh off her first grass court title in Birmingham. And Angelique Kerber hasn't made a huge splash at the Slams this year, but the 2012 semifinalist is coming off a solid runner-up finish in Eastbourne. On the men's side, Feliciano Lopez continued his domination on the surface, rebounding from a final loss at Queen's Club to defend his title at the Aegon International. And Roberto Bautista Agut, having one of the best seasons on tour, proved he's an all-court player this past week, claiming his first career title in Den Bosch. But it's always the players we least suspect who cause the biggest stir at the majors. Last year it was Jurgen Janovic, who now carries a 15th seed at Wimbledon despite a middling 10-14 record on the year. A few years before that, it was Austrian quarterfinalist Tamira Paszek, who had to qualify for the 2014 main draw. And there will certainly be Cinderellas this year too. Dustin Brown, who defeated Nadal in Halle, comes to London at his highest career ranking, number 78 in the world. And Sam Querrey, finally getting his game back together, put up a nice fight on his way to the Eastbourne semis. For the ladies, 2008 semifinalist Ji Zheng has fallen a bit down the rankings lately, but reminded us what she can do with a run to the final in Den Bosch. And Alexandra Wozniak, who ousted one-time darling Melanie Oudin to qualify, reached the 3rd round in Birmingham, taking a set off last year's semifinalist Kirsten Flipkens in that match. But there are plenty other places in the draw where we can see some fireworks, and plenty other players who have an opportunity to do something big this fortnight. So check out my wish list of the 10 things I want to see happen at the All England Club, and keep clicking back here for full coverage of all the action in London. Till then, thanks for watching tennisspin.net.